Okay, so I decided to do a part two of this video, break it up into two parts instead of doing a long one because people might have seen 30 minutes or however long this would be and be like, ugh. So, um, I cracked myself up. Okay, so part two, I'm going to dive into what each verse meant for me in a deeper sense. So, I'm going to read the whole Psalm in the NLT again. So this is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. You honor me by anointing my head with oil. My cup overflows with blessings. Surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever. Let's go. Verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. So, because the Lord is my shepherd, I will always have everything I need. Underline need, okay? We will not have everything that we want, okay? There is a difference between wants and needs. I want a great car. A nice SUV probably would be nice, luxury SUV on an executive sportish car, sedan. But what do I need at this moment right now? I just need a car to get me around because Houston public transport system is trash. Okay? So I will deal with my fixer-upper car until I could get what I want. But God has supplied what I absolutely need, regardless of the amount of songs that come out that car. It is still what I need, and I have to be grateful for having something that takes me from point A to point B, which I am. Okay? So what God knows what we need. Okay, so we have to thank him for what we have, because all we have is all we need. Trust me. In any point in time, I promise you, there will be times, and I've been in times when I'm like, no, I need this, and I need this, and I'm like really? Would you die? Would you die without that? No, it's not a need. Move on. Okay, it's hard to do that sometimes because we make comparisons to other people and, see all what they have and things what we need. But God knows what each of us needs, and that's what he's going to give us, okay? Bless God. Excuse me. Verse 2 says, he lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. So this basically solidifies the previous revelation about God providing everything that we actually need, for the fact that he lets us rest in green meadows. Now the green meadows, or green pastures as I know it from the King James Version, which again I said that's what is memorized in my mind. The green meadows is not something that any of us would want. I'm going to post a link to a YouTube video that describes what green meadows are, and what they meant in that time that Jesus was talking about in the psalm here. But the green meadows is really a largely barren field with small sprigs of grass scattered around in between some of the rocks that would be laying on that barren meadow or field. It is not a green pasture or meadow filled with luscious green grass as far as the eye could see. No, it is really like, when you see the video, you would be like, where the grass? that was my reaction. I was like, where is the grass? The grass was poking out between, like, you have to watch the video, please. If you're watching this video, go into the description and click the link and watch that green meadow. It is not what you think. And so that really goes to show that God knows what we need and where our needs are. Because if I like was if it was up to me to go and like pick a place to find all my needs and to get fed, I go into the place where I know is grass in abundance. But God was like, no, we're gonna take this walk across this barren field, and there will be sprigs of grass in between. You just have to trust that I know that, and I know what you need, and I will lead you to those places, and you would have just enough grass for every step to keep going until you get filled. But you have to trust me, and that's it. God will always provide in the places that He leads us to, and the key word is that He leads us to. You can't just be going again. You see a green meadow filled with grass, green grass everywhere, and it's like, oh, Spirit of God is leading me over here, and God is just like, oh really? And then you're there, and I don't know, something happened. I don't know, some storm just passed by when you decide to feed on the green grass and drench you, and then you're complaining, oh God, why it raining on me? He didn't lead you there, sis. Bruh. Okay? He would provide in the place where he, underline he, leads you to. Okay? Verse 3, He renews my strength and He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to His name. Again, even when He's leading us along the right paths, is to bring honor to His name. Okay, and it's a humbling reminder, again, that I wrote here, it's a humbling reminder that this life is really not about me, and everything that He does is not just for me, but it's ultimately for His glory. Yes, I get blessed and provided for. He takes care of us. He doesn't neglect us in His process of getting His glory. But the ultimate primary goal is for Him to get glory. The secondary benefits of that primary goal is that I am also provided for. I also get to partake in that goal of Him receiving glory. But the ultimate goal is for His glory. And I just need to be humbled by that. And I mean, He's God. We are His creations. We are never going to be on His level. That is exactly what God Satan cast out of heaven, because he was seeking that. So we have to be humble, but also grateful that in His goal and like quest of just receiving glory, He's gracious enough to provide for us and allow us to be a part of that goal. Okay. So that was verse 3. Verse 4. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid. For you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. So I wrote that even when we walk through our darkest valleys, we won't be afraid because we know who's leading us, right? The Lord. He's our shepherd. And He is equipped with the rod and the staff to be able to defend us and protect us during those times. There's a website called reasonsforhopejesus.com that says this. I like what they said. Sheep are not as dumb as some suggest. Perhaps dumb is not a fair attribute of sheep, but dependent certainly is. Sheep are dependent on their shepherd for direction and protection. They are not independent creatures. They are not strong. They are not survivors. They quickly wander and can easily be led astray. And we are the sheep, right? The Bible describes us as God's sheep. So people might read this and think, oh, like that's not encouraging. We are weak, we are strong. But look, if you're really honest with yourself, we are all of that. We stray. We are not strong. Without God, we would not survive. But don't look at all of that as a negative, in a negative sense, because what I wrote here is that I like this shift in mindset of me, sometimes calling myself stupid, like shifting that from calling myself or thinking of myself stupid to dependent. And dependent is a good thing, because I feel like it's countercultural to say that and wear that badge of, oh, I'm dependent, because culture has this whole thing of like hashtag independent woman, especially as women. But it's like, no, but like being dependent is a good thing, because we're dependent on someone who we know would protect us and love us. And that same website again goes into talk about the rod and the staff, right? which I have a picture of what it looks like here on my tablet. And I was gonna try and like, be all fancy and try to be a semi YouTuber, whatever, and put a little annotation box here. But I don't feel like doing all that, so we're gonna see how well my camera on my phone could pick up this. Okay. Oh, not bad. Look at God. So that is the rod and that is the staff. Okay. So the rod, which is the shorter one, I'm gonna show you again. Okay. The rod was used to fight off wild animals and to count the sheep and direct them. A willing sheep would respond to the prodding, but a stubborn, strong-willed sheep would not. And that's where the staff would come in. So the staff is the one that has the crook. Good God. Thank you, camera, for focusing in so well and adjusting brightness. Me with my mediocre smartphone still getting the message across. Bless God in this place. Hallelujah. If y'all don't realize, I love to amuse myself. Going back though, in all serious cap back on. So that's where the staff started coming. For those wondering, sheep. So the staff's crook, that curly part, would be used by the shepherd to exert. Let's see what it says. The shepherd uses the staff to more strongly exert his authority and to gently but firmly pull the sheep back into the fold and keep the sheep moving in the right direction. Sorry. So, yeah, that's us. I want to go on the path of least resistance, which all of us do. So I'm just like, no trials, no pain. Let me go there. And I mean, honestly, we don't like that God chooses the pain and like the other more tumultuous parts for us to go on. But let's be real. If everything was going good, there would be no reason to rely on God. I know that's me. Sometimes in my greatest times when the seas aren't that rough, I might not stop praying as much, stop praising as much, remembering God in those moments. But when going gets tough and everything hit the fan, is prayers every day, prayers in tongues, singing, hallelujah, warfare prayers, everything is God, oh God. Which I wish it wasn't that way, but I feel like that's part of the human condition. Anyway, so when we go on a path that God doesn't want us, just like Jonah, he used the big fish for Jonah. He said, poop, no, sheep, come back. So, yeah. What I also thought about is look at the rod, right, in comparison to the staff. The rod is much shorter, meaning that the wild animal, if it was a wolf coming for the sheep, it would have had to come in very close proximity to the shepherd for the shepherd to just whack it and fend it off, right? As opposed to this staff, I was wondering, why didn't they use the staff, which is longer, to hit the wild animal or whatnot? And I think, I heard God say that it's because sometimes he really needs sometimes he allows the enemy to come in closer to us, to him ultimately, right? How to explain it? It's the enemy sometimes needs to be in close proximity to us so that God could be in close proximity as well to just whack the devil for us when we need him to whack him. It's only that's the only time when the God could really get the enemy good in terms of when he or the enemy is close to us. So that shorter rod, and if you saw how it was built, it was kind of thick on the top, it was built so that it could really sustain and withstand the impact of a hard blunt force. The staff was more built just to guide and hook the sheep in. So it's possible, I don't know, this is my speculation, I'm not a theologian. My speculation is that he didn't use his staff, although he could have probably gotten to the wolf at a further distance the staff was more slender and thinner, so it's possible that if he had tried to hit a wolf with the staff, that it might have broken, as compared to the club, which was short, robust, very sturdy, and could just, you know, whack the devil. When I run right now to whack the devil, shoot. bless God. Moving on. What is the rod and the staff that God uses in our life to guide and protect us? I believe it's His word and other people. I think that's self-explanatory. His word comforts us, protects us, and other people, through prophetic word or just being there physically for other people. So, look at yourself as an extension of God's rod and staff sometimes. We are God's rods and staff sometimes, okay? Phrase 5, you prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. You honor my head. You see I'm mixing up the King James Version. The King James Version just rolling off my tongue. Let's repeat. Rewind. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. You honor me by anointing my head with oil. My cup overflows with blessings. Again, God doesn't remove us from hardship. He does not prevent the enemy from coming in. A lot of times He lets us be captured by the enemy. There are so many people in the Bible, Paul, Joseph, like several people who were actually captured by the enemy, but God's favor was with them, and it was all a part too of God's ultimate destiny and Him getting glory. Especially, with all of those stories, we know how those men were ultimately glorified and had God's favor on them, despite the hardships that they had to endure. Even though He doesn't remove the hardship and doesn't allow us to be captured by our enemies sometimes, He provides for us in those moments and shows us favor in those times, right? And our cup would overflow with blessings. Surely, this is verse 6, surely goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever. And I mean, that's just a great way to end it off, His goodness and unfailing love, regardless of anything, will pursue us all the days of our lives. And we will, when we leave this earth, we'll dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So good. So, this is the end of part 2. Thank God for being our shepherd and providing all that we need, not what we want. And don't forget, be someone's rod and staff when He calls you to be. Okay? God bless. Word of the day. Yeah, I can make a W. Word of the day. Oh.